We have a gamer here who won with Blue Flare. You want to take us through your list?
Yeah, sweet as man. Alright, so rookies first. Actually, I'll go for the eggs for Upamon. That's all you need. That's all you want.
Draw card.
Don't play any other egg. This is pretty much the best egg. There's not a lot of rookies in this deck as well. There's only 6 rookies, so like, you don't need a 5th egg. Like, you almost like you'll never get to that 5th egg. So, go on. One of the rookies though, this rookie is amazing. Gaosmon. It's only 1k, but you almost want this to die because of its on deletion effect. Its on deletion effect is you can play a level 4 Blue Flare Suspended. Which, as we'll go through the deck, you'll see can be pretty broken. You can do some really big tempo plays with that. The other rookie, you can probably put whatever you want in this spot. These are kind of like flex spots. I just like the Memory Denial. Just having an extra rookie is kind of handy sometimes if you miss the Gaosmon, just to get some draws. But yeah, I just couldn't find a better secondary rookie. So, and I just wanted to run 6, so that's why I got Madoki Betamon.
I dig it.
So we get to level 4s. First level 4 is Blue Flare Greymon. So he's one of the Blue Flares you can play off that Gaosmon that we spoke about earlier. So his on play is going to be happening all the time because you're going to be playing him for free off Gaosmon, or you just hard slap him because he's only 4 memory, which is pretty good. So his on play is you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and you add 2 Blue Flare cards, which is pretty good. He also has on deletion save, put him underneath one of your tamers. Also, if you have Kiriha in play, which is a tamer that you need for this deck, instead of flipping the top 4 and adding 2 cards, you can add a Metal Greymon back from your grave, which can be really important as well. Also, he's an X-Ross requirement for Metal Greymon, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. The only other thing about him is he's inheritable for Metal Greymon. If your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, you unsuspend Metal Greymon, so he just gives you extra swings as well. Really good card. 4 of must be in this deck. Red Greymon. You never play Red Greymon to field ever. You only use him for X-Ross requirements for your Metal Greymon. Pretty obvious why he's there. Gives security attack +1. That's pretty much what he's there for. I'm thinking about bumping this up to 3 because it does come up in certain matchups, but you probably want at least 2. Male Birdmon is another Blue Flare. The other thing about this as well that I didn't say, you can't play this off Gaosmon because it's not a Blue Flare as well. This is a level 4 Blue Flare, however. So his on play is you can play Kiriha, your tamer, for free when he plays on play. So what you can do is you can promote your Gaosmon on turn 2, swing, play this, and then play your tamer for 0 memory, which is a pretty good play. Similar to Greymon as well, if you have Kiriha already in play, you can add a Metal Greymon back from your trash. So we do play 4 Metal Greymons, but sometimes it can feel like you have like 6 or 7 of them because you can just get it back from your bin.
And this lets you stun anything, right?
So if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, we're talking about the inheritable here. So when attacking, if they have 2 more Digimon, you can stun anything regardless of how many sources it has.
That's so good.
So as you can see, like Male Birdmon and Greymon kind of need like 2 Digimon in play to kind of turn on. So it really punishes decks that go wide, like your Jessmons and like maybe your Bloom Lords, your Examons and things of that nature. And also he's a requirement for Metal Greymon, if I didn't mention that. So Decadramon. So Decadramon's not really an X-Ross requirement, it's just a really good card. Its on play is draw 1, and then draw 1 for each Digimon your opponent has in play, so really punishes your opponent for going wide, like a lot of the cards in this deck do. You can play him for free off the Gaosmon as well. So, you know, say you don't have the Mailbird or the Greymon, they have a couple of Digimon in play, you promote, you swing, you slap this down, draw like 2 or 3 cards. Really good. Sometimes when like they have those crazy wide boards, this can get up to like, I've drawn like 6 cards off this card sometimes. So he's really handy. Plus he just kind of goes into the champion rush of this deck as well. Alright, so that's all the level 4s. So there's 12 level 4 Blue Flare that you can play off your Gaosmon, and then the 2 Greymons. Oh, there is 2 more level 4s, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah, I was like, you play a hybrid.
Yeah, they're more tech cards. So probably the best card in this deck, and what this deck kind of revolves around, is Metal Greymon. So Metal Greymon, it's 7 to play, but if you have Male Birdmon and Greymon, so that can be the Red Greymon or the Blue Greymon and one of the 4 Male Birdmons, he plays for 3. If you only have one source, he plays for 5, which you can do if you have to sometimes. His main thing is he has Rush, so he can attack the turn he comes into play. Plus he stuns up to 3 Digimon that have less sources than him, which is normally 2. So like any of those annoying rookies that are swinging around, anything that you strip sources on, he's just going to come down and stun like a good chunk of your board. He's amazing against Jessmon, like all those Systemons, like just get fucking stunned immediately. And then usually when you swing with the Mailbird effect, he'll stun the actual big stack as well. So yeah, he's the main win condition of the deck. You want to get to this guy, you know, start chipping away at your opponent. Don't be too afraid about like swinging him in, because as we saw, you've got 8 cards in this deck that can get him back from your bin.
Yep.
So like, yeah, really good card. Synergizes super well for some of the other cards.
And your Greymon can add him back, right?
Yeah, the Greymon and the Mailbirdmon can add him back.
Nice.
Yeah, from bin. As long as you have Kirihara in play, which you pretty much should do almost every game. Another level 5, Deca Greymon. Now, the main reason I play this is I never hard play it for the Digiross effect. You can if you're in a real tight pinch, but I normally just do the Digivolve effect. The reason I play him mainly is for Armor Purge. So if you've got Metal Greymon with the Security Attack Greymon underneath and you're a bit worried he's not going to survive a check, just put that on top. You get a draw, swing, Armor Purge, cool, you get that second check kind of thing. That's probably the main reason I play Deca Greymon. It does have like some stun effects as well, but it doesn't come up too much and it's not like super duper common. But I like him. I think 3 off's fine. You could make an argument cutting this down to 2. It's not like super duper necessary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't know you played 3 because I only ever see like 1.
Yeah. So kind of into Tech Digimon, 2 hybrids.
Nice.
Pretty obvious what these are for. They're going for game. They can strip sources if you really need them to, but yeah, they're mainly there to just go for game. The other 2 Tech Digimon is the Broken Death X. You know, you've probably seen this card before. If you haven't, you know, de-digivolves the whole board, deletes everything level 4 or lower. Then on your opponent's turn, deletes the lowest play cost, and he costs 3 less for every Digimon and Tamer you have. So he's just another card that really punishes decks that go wide. You know, he's just handy to have. Yeah, just a bit of a staple card. I don't think you need to play more than 2. You could make an argument for going into 1 as well. Now, Tamers, you want for Kirihara. Now, one of the main reasons we play Kirihara is, as you saw before, Mailbirdmon and Greymon's effect to get Metal Greymon back from bin. You need Kirihara on board to trigger that.
Yep.
The other reason is, when you're doing X-Ross, if you don't have Kirihara on field, it can only be Digimon on your field or in your hand. If you have Kirihara, first of all, you can put Digimon underneath him, and then you can suspend him to use those sources. So sometimes you only need to see 1 Greymon and 1 Mailbirdmon in a game because you can just repeating the sources.
You just keep looping them.
Yeah, more or less. So that's why you play 4 of him. We've already seen 1 card that cheats him out for free, the Mailbirdmon. There's still 1 more card that cheats him out for free as well. So I feel like you're never going to get punished or get bricky playing 4 of these, and you need to see them, so I play 4. Secondary tamer is Sora and Joe. Sora and Joe's just a really good tamer. If your opponent has a Digimon with no sources, game 2 memory. It's a really good staple blue card. Like, I think 2's fine. I wouldn't go to 1, I wouldn't go to 3. I think 2's fine. There's some matchups where it really comes up, and there's some matchups where it's not that great.
The OG Hexablow boy.
Yeah. Now for probably one of the most broken cards in the deck, Blazing Memory Boost. Yeah.
People think this card's bad.
So, what its main effect is you reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. You add 2 blue flare cards, and then if you've added 2 blue flare cards and you reveal a Kirihara as well, you play Kirihara for free. So I would say this probably hits the 2 blue flare and the Kirihara at like 50% of the time, which is pretty nuts. Like for 5 memory, you get a tamer and like 2 resources to your hand. Also, it's a huge consistency card. Like helps you get those Mailbirdmons and those Greymons, you know, if you're missing Metal Greymon as well. So it's just an awesome card, and it has the delay effect of game 2 memory as well when you need to squeeze a hybrid or maybe that Deca Greymon into a turn. Another really good broken card that we got in EX3, which is
you're
like...
playing 4.
Which has like upped the output, like upped this deck so much. Like this deck used to really struggle with Malga. and like really big stack decks, this like breaks so many stack decks. It
Yep.
still struggles against Grandis. Like this doesn't really do that much against Grandis because I guess it still kind of stops the second swing. Like Grandis normally gets rid of a lot of its sources anyway.
True.
But against Malga, like they hit this and it's just game over.
Yeah,
like
they lose.
also like if they leave their stack out, just go bang, cool. That's just like a nothing now.
Yep.
Really good card. It's good against big stacks. It's good against wide boards as well. Good against D Brigade. Like it's just a really fucking good card. Like yeah, and it costs 4. It's really good.
It's very cheap. Very cheap for a Hexablow replacement.
I got 2 Rattlestars. These you could probably swap these out if you don't like Rattlestar. I personally just love Rattlestar mainly because I find I don't really like playing Cocytus Breath to get rid of those level 6s. I find a lot of decks that do play level 6s besides Grandis normally have 3 or more Digimon in play, whether it's Jessmon or Bloomlord. Well, probably the 2 big ones that come to mind. Normally Rattlestar will be active to bottom deck something. And then a lot of other decks like Malga, they normally swing with that Wegarurumon, which is a level 5 anyway.
Yep.
Same as Crossheart, not that there's a ton of Crossheart around, like all their stuff's level 5s as well, so this will still bounce them. So I think it's fine for the meta, but if you want to swap these out for a Cocytus Breath or something, you could make an argument for that.
the meaning.
Yeah, true. It's taking out the Crossheart gamers.
Forbidden Trident. So Forbidden Trident's just there mainly to get rid of that annoying rookie that doesn't let you reduce play costs. Which I think purple has, black has, and red has access to. So it's just, you play it for 1 on one of your Digimon. When one of your Digimon attack, you get plus 2000 DP, but the main effect is you bounce level 3 back to your opponent's hand.
Oh yeah.
So I've used this like on my, I promote my Gale Swan, slap this down on it, swing, bounce that can't reduce play costs off the field,
Yep.
and then start playing Death X's and Metal Greymons onto the
Yeah,
field.
so you can start
Yeah,
Digigloss
more or
and
less.
whatnot.
So
Very cool.
that's more or less what it is. Blue doesn't have like a really good like spot mini removal. This is probably the best card you're gonna find to just
Yeah.
getting rid of like, for this deck anyway, just getting rid of the level 3.
That's fair. I dig it.
Yeah.
First time I read this card was today.
Yeah, pretty much. Last card, Ice Wall. Every blue deck has Ice Wall.
You gotta play it.
I think everyone knows what it does. Just make sure you have blue Ice Wall in your blue decks. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah. Well, big thank for the profile and congrats on another locals win.
Yeah, no worries. Have a good one.